Alright, hello everyone. Another episode of Starfield. We're continuing the UC quest line. Trying to get a little bit farther in that setup. Off hours I did clean up. Get emptied out a good bit. I'm now kind of to the point I think we're going to use the cargo ship for most of this for a little while. Gave it a little bit more maneuverability. Couldn't do a lot, unfortunately, but I tried to look around at what it said that gives me new stuff. I didn't really see any, but I wasn't looking closely. But go meet Hedron in New Atlantis.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Okay, Art Delir.
Okay, no bounty. You're clear. Enjoy your visit.
Yeah, leave me alone. Alright, so get on the tram to get to the Mass District.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis for sure.
Lobby. Meet Hydrant in the Atlantis Mass District.
Captain! Over here!
Oh.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Huh. You're a clone of a man? How's that work?
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
Okey-doke.
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
Alright.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
Alright. You're not your father. If Kevin doesn't see that's their problem. I'm not sure I can blame him. His family yours doesn't sound like they were too much for you. So you're using me to distract them. Wow, and I thought my family was messed up.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Honestly, it'll take a few days. What are the risks of us accessing data?
It's hard to know exactly what might sway them. I'd just be honest about what you saw. A colony wiped out, and a lot of lives lost. Something we don't want anyone else to have to experience. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
Yeah.
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Alright.
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
Alright.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Cabinet.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Thanks, that's cute. Don't want to be an ass.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
China still does data. We need a Possible apocalypse. Just to talk about what happened. Meetings with Grant. We're still trying to figure inform
That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
There's a chance of it happening somewhere else. We need to be granted. Yes, spheres, data, and whatnot. Or failed. Data's not dangerous.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Okay. Hey, Vasco. Glad you could join us.
rifle, grab it! Now!
What is going on?
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
Collect the EM weapon? What do they talk about?
You're not going
Let's find them. We have to help them. Where the hell is that stunt
I don't have one. I don't.
gun?
It's in my head! Get it out! Get it out!
Where's the stun gun you're talking about? That's not gonna help.
My eyes, I can feel it.
Please! Do something!
Oh,
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got.
Eradicated all nearby enemies.
dude, can you like move so we can shoot it freely? Now what?
Lights out on them.
Oh, okay, so I just hadn't quite. Now what?
Come on, let's talk. We need to find. I don't think we're getting down to the port without their help.
I'll be alright. Nothing a bucket of med packs won't fix.
For what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Alright, first things first, we need to apparently set that up as a weapon. Oh, it is one. Number 2.
Warning. Enemy activity.
No time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
If you're not a bottle of antiseptic, then I don't need you.
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up! Just stand there!
lot of damage.
You left us. Why did you leave us? There's another one. They're everywhere.
Thanks. Bosco, you're kind of just standing there. Alright, that's not working.
There it is! Open fire! Fire! Damn it!
I shouldn't let myself get pinned in.
Wait, officer?
It's the first time I've seen inside this place. Bosco, get out of the way, please. Where is the officer in charge they're talking about?
Don't let him get into your head.
You see the size of that thing?
Alright, so one of you guys.
You the experts? All right.
This wasn't on the application. I had to, or else they would have
Heard
killed
you might
us.
be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
And you're sure not gonna turn on us out there.
We're not afraid. But we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the expert. Roger that. We're on you.
Alright.
I'm sorry, these people need me. Am I going to be all right?
Mannequin. Okay, that's just regular guys. Eliminate the terramorphs. It'd be nice if you kind of gave me an idea where they were. I guess they're on the starport itself. Didn't damage my ship, did it? Ooh, there's like little bomb-like locations we can use.
Get in position!
Hey, you're actually shooting!
They're going to turn on you. Kill them. Kill them first.
Did the other guy turn on us? Oh no, they're there. That one? No, that's Fosco.
This is useless. You've already lost.
On reload.
This is nothing.
They're going to turn on you. Kill them. Kill them first.
Secure.
All wrapped up. We should go tell the sergeant what happened.
The leader turned on us, but not the other guy. That's funny. Okay.
Thank the heavens you're back in one piece. Well, I guess our people weren't so lucky.
The few protecting the many.
And it would have been plenty more if it hadn't been for the two of you. The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
How does something like this even happen? My people.
Okay.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your home.
You're cleared to head back up.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
The next time Terramorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready. Those creatures killed UC citizens.
Captain?
They're not killing them.
Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Better late than never.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Why not get a... Why not send a diplomat?
The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
If you sure.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
Sure.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Okie doke.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
We didn't get where we are by sitting on our laurels.
Dealing with ambassadors? I think I'd rather fight more Terramorphs.
To remember that.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you.
Chief Yassine, these orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the Cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
UC keeps the secrets on how to kill Freestar citizens.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Just gonna use some electrodes, a toothbrush.
It won't be.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun? The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
No one can be that stubborn, which just attack. You're underestimating how delightful I am.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Okay, any other things to avoid inside the desk?
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Alright.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval. Of course, but there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
Oh, we're not chasing a corpse.
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador.
What I do if he's dead?
Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I have no doubt.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Of course.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Okay.
Good
Alright,
day, Captain.
you return to your post,
I have
Bosco.
no objections.
Because I definitely don't want you wandering around while I'm trying to deal with possibly stealthing. Alright. Well, I'll be...
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Alright, Dark Dealer, don't care about that one right now.
This space is a...
Alright, let's get in the Freestar Embassy and see what
I
we
asked
got.
my boss what they're doing to stop the
You are visitor? You can go on through.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room. That means you.
Terrorforce? As in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
You're allowed 3 places. Conference room, lobby, or the ambassador's office. You
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? Ah, so you're the one they called about. Failed to mention you were collective-born. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
Uh-huh. Otherwise, many more deaths are under half.
Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go?
Don't think a persuade's gonna work, but I'll try
You're
it.
gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood. I'm listening.
Alright. Luck with my home with just one what's best for it. And that's working with the UFC.
Don't let yourself be taken in by their propaganda. This is a power grab, nothing more. You know that for sure. That is interesting.
You were a soldier too, your job was to protect.
Londinian.
Ugh.
They had to abandon the planet. But that couldn't happen again. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once, you get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement?
I mean...
Excellent. Follow me.
But I want to steal your plant! They told me not to steal, but I want to steal your plant. But I'm not in the places they told me to be.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. Two unlikely allies, I guess.
Alright, let's get the heck out of here.
Exactly. It's like
Side of Galbank? Huh? Excuse me. Now I kind of wish I had Bosco. Alright, let's go ahead and heal a little bit. Payload folder, planetary Earth statue. Ain't kidding it, the plants have kind of gotten over. Beware defenses. Alright, give me a second, guys. Alright, sorry. I felt a cough coming back. Alright, last user session. That one ain't gonna work. So that one and that one. That one and that one. Alright. Let's go ahead and take control of the turrets and turn them on. What the hell? What in the world is your plants doing? Alright, so that one ain't gonna work. You and you. You and you. Might as well take a nap. Why not? Only got some sort of mysterious crap flowing around. It's speaking to you. Hey, Robo. Thanks for the help. What's with the placement of the mannequins too, man? What the hell? Alright, where are we supposed to go? Oh. Was I supposed to go this way or this way? That's way too far apart. So that one and that one share that connection. There's that one and that one. That one and that one. turrets are down already. Oh, what the heck? Whoa, dude. Beware the demons. What a plushy dog. Alright. Guess we're going down to see the demons. Okay. That and that. Hmm. Use an auto slot, why not? Okay, so that one and that one. And now we got the two small ones free. Alright, friend. Activate turrets. That one and nope. Nope. That one. Not you. So you and you. Nothing really of interest in here. Turret should be friendly now. Alright, that went back to where I was. Ah! Okay. fast little bastards. Why you call your own robots demons?
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then... silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly?
Spaceport is in rough shape, not much else. City's much better. Did you say poor now?
Countless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But I must know of the rest of the city. Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, hmm? And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably, hmm? Do I see this all clearly?
Yes, correct. Dude, we want to share something not happening. We need your code to reset.
The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy, with little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Oh, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
Well, that's the plan. You're just an old man in a basement.
Well then, I shall not fear. Please, follow me. Let's hope it still works.
Ooh.
And there. Let it be used for good.
It will. Go bar your bed. Thank you. Ooh, you got an old videotape. Apparently I'm going to steal it, though, if I do that. Alright. Guessing I probably do have to walk out, unfortunately. Well. First floor, I guess. All right. Turn to Deputy McIntyre.
Captain, can I help you?
Nope, just jumped over your table. Alright.
Yes?
No.
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement.
Code pieces when collected and ready to be deployed. Thanks to yours truly.
So the old man was still lurking around in there. Fine work, Captain. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Oh. What's the fun in that?
Yes, what?
Trying to figure out where the damn elevator is again.
And my mother wanted me to be a doctor.
Alright.
Keeping the skies safe out there?
Sure. I don't think I've been in the skies for quite some time though. Been dealing with y'all's bull here. This?
Not supposed to be talking to you.
Captain, we've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
that it? Return the data. I think you mean return with the data, I guess, but okay. Up now.
Here on Vanguard business?
Alright.
Hey.
There you are.
Captain. Deputy told me what went down. Impressive work.
Captain, if you'd be willing to transfer the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing what comes next.
Time for us to start getting some real answers. And figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready. Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage. This is us starting to put some things right. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
I mean, I think the killing of the Terramorphs would be a little bit more pressing of an issue than getting me citizenship, but okay. I guess we'll follow you. Y'all sure walk slow. Where are you going? Okay. Can I not go? Thank you.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies?
Remind me again why I want to become a citizen?
It doesn't. We don't really care where else you might have been or might become a citizen. Once you earn your place in the United Colonies, it's yours.
Well, only citizens can own property in New Atlantis. We also pay a discounted rate at any United Colonies merchant. And all citizens receive an ample credit disbursement upon joining.
Sure, why not?
This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen?
Sure, whatever. Really, I gotta do all that?
Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation.
We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property.
Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you. but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms? Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
Subsection 7, okay.
You didn't hear this from me, but those ecliptic mercenaries?
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor.
Oh.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat. President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am?
Oh, God.
Perceptive. I like that. I'm Francois Sanon, but most know me as Victus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes, but the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here, a sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies.
What a chattier ghost, I bet expect you. So the UC faked your death.
One final act of rebellion by the leadership that lost the Colony War. The trial was authentic. I faced tribunal with dignity, but my execution, staged. A lethal injection that was anything but. The cabinet at the time, long gone now, wished to keep me on as an advisor. And considering the other option, I was in no place to refuse. So I elected to trade my freedom for my continued existence. But such is the life of a soldier. I want to help you, and my progeny Hadrian, prevent more attacks. Though I am curious, has she shared with you the nature of our little family?
Kind of a stretch.
Unfortunately, I'm inclined to agree with you. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do.
It's not never joking.
It was an attempt by the United Colonies to solidify its own legacy, forging a new generation of great leaders. They were raised by adoptive families made up of scholars and tacticians, trained at the United Colonies' greatest scientific and military academies, displayed incredible promise. But by the time the Colony War came to a close, there was only Hadrian. But that's ancient history now. You have much more pressing matters at hand, with which I can help.
Alright, fine, I'm listening.
After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the Colony War. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with. Well, who better to find them? But many of them I knew personally, and I've always had a mind for details. Where someone was born, next of kin. You'd be shocked how often an otherwise brilliant criminal flees to the planet just next to the one where they were born, or where a family member resides. I simply use my own personal knowledge and the information our group collects for me to track them down and set things right.
Alright.
There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colonies' more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the Colony War ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know.
Consider him dust.
You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it. Speak to Deputy McIntyre. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that someone might be tying up this loose end at long last. Though I would ask you, do not make the mistake of confusing me for a simple cutthroat. Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout. If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria, Wolf System. There's a star station in the vicinity. The Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Okie doke. Well, this was a pretty lengthy episode. I'm going to be closing this episode up here.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
Guess we're going to be heading to the Wolf System in the next episode to see exactly where we're headed next. But hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the next one, and take it easy.